sorry. Okay, so minimum of 2 hours tonight. These are the things that are going to be really important on the test tomorrow. I want you to spend the time wisely. Don't just go flipping through the binder and be like, yeah, got it. Be strategic, like, wow, I'm not doing well with asymptotes. Here's where I go. Here's where I'm going to get the video support. Realistically, you're only going to have time to do maybe 3 or 4 of these in depth. Really, that's all you're going to have. You're spending 2 hours. If you need more than that, spend more than that. Don't spend less than 2 hours getting ready for this test tomorrow. I want it to be a good experience. All right, so let's go over the multiple choice from last night. Okay, there were 22 multiple choice questions. We did 7 or 8 of them in class. Do not expect, I am not expecting that anyone got a perfect score. If you did, fabulous, let me know. We will have a parade later. I'm going to go through the 22. I'll tell you what the right answer is, and I'll also tell you what the level of difficulty I think. Is it an easy, is it a medium, or is it a hard? Okay, number 1, D. I would put that as an easy problem. Expect that there's going to be one like that tomorrow, but only one. Number 2 is also D. I would put that at sort of the medium level. Number 3, also D. What? 3 in a row that are D? I must have an ego, Mr. DeRozier. And I think that's an easy one. Number 4, C. I'd say it's at the easy level. Okay, number 5, if you know what I am asking you about in this question, it is a relatively easy one. The right answer is what? A. How do we make that decision, Fabricio? How did you decide it was A?
E is the biggest exponent which grows faster.
Okay, what I wanted to hear, e to the 3x is the function that grows faster, right? The exponentials are the fastest growing functions. If that's in the denominator, that denominator is growing fastest of all, so the answer has to be 0. What's the slowest growing function? The natural log function. That's like the slog function. Right after the natural log function, you get the polynomials, and we make decisions about which one grows faster or slower by looking at the degrees, right? That was like the trick that you knew in Algebra 2 or pre-calc, and then the exponentials grow fastest of all. If you know that, then a problem like number 5 probably takes 30 seconds or less. Okay? All right, number 6 is E, and I'm just going to call that one hard. That's a hard one. Number 7 is B. I would say that is a medium level question if you know what the graph looks like. If you don't know what the graph looks like, then you probably had no idea how to go about solving this. Number 8 is B. Doing that on your calculator, I'm going to say makes it an easy question. It should be. Is everybody okay with like finding limits on the calculator? Calculator's doing all the hard work there. Number 9 is B. I'd classify this probably as a medium to a hard. Number 10, A. I think we did this one in class yesterday.
Yeah.
And almost all of you guys got this one right. I'd call that a medium question. Okay. Now, a lot of you got it right because it showed up on the multiple choice and notation was not the issue. I know from the homework assignment you guys turned in yesterday, you've got a lot of work to do when it comes to proving continuity. on a free response. Number 11, I'd say is E. I'd put that in the medium to hard category. Number 12 is E. I'd call that medium. Number 13, A. Intermediate value theorem questions generally are probably on the easy side of things. Is that okay for me to say that? Intermediate value theorem, if you plot the points, it's pretty obvious. But the most important thing if you're going to use the intermediate value theorem, the A number one most important thing, the thing you have to know about the function, it must be continuous. If I haven't told you that the function is continuous, you cannot use it. Cannot use the intermediate value theorem. Okay, I would put a little star next to intermediate value theorem in that like list of things you're going to study, because the write-up for it is very, very specific. On multiple choice, it's easy. On free response, it's hard. Okay, what are we on, number 14? 14, I'd say B is in that medium to hard category. It's just a little bit of factoring, but if you don't see the factoring, you have no idea what to do. Okay, number 15 is A. I think we did this one in class yesterday, and most of you guys did well. I'd call it a medium. Number 16 is C. I would say that's a hard question. If the hint wasn't there with the hint, it's probably at the medium level. Number 17 is E. I'd put that in the medium to hard category. 18 is A. I'd call it medium just because of the word false at the end of the question, right? If you're not reading carefully, you may not see that. Number 19 is A. How many guys honestly came up with A? Okay, like we are getting good with the whole like multiply by the conjugate trick. Like that's home, that's safe. Okay, I'd call that medium. Number 20 is E, and it's hard because we haven't done enough with that. Don't worry about number 20 if you get it wrong. 21 is D. Just some tricky factoring there. I'd call that medium to hard. And number 22 is should be C, and I'd put that in the medium to hard category.
21, did you say D as in dog?
D is in dog. D is in dog. So, do me a favor. Give me a quick count up. How many did you get right out of the 22? I am not picking this up for a grade. This is like prime study material for tonight. If I take this away from you, you don't have access to it. So give me a total out of 22. Total right. Let's be positive. We're going to be optimistic. Once class is over, assuming that the email possibility returns to Yes Prep Southwest, I've not been able to send or receive an email in a while. I'm going to email you guys my solutions to all the journal entries that we've done so that you've got those. That's prime study material and the multiple choice questions that you did last night. So quick show of hands. How many of y'all got, let's say 11 out of 22 or better? 11 out of 22 or better. Good. Do that tomorrow. That's where like a 70 starts. Okay? That's where 70 starts on the multiple choice. 14 out of 22 or better. 14 out of 22. Okay, good. Now that's 14 out of 22, probably with a little bit of help, a little bit of support from others. I can deal with that. Not tomorrow. That's called cheating. Now that's like studying. 14 out of 22 or better, I'd say that's where like my low B's are starting. 18 out of 22 or better. Wow. Okay, 18 out of 22 or better, I'd say that's where the low A's are starting. We've got 13 minutes left. I don't want to spend any time in the multiple choice because right now multiple choice is not what is scaring me. What is scaring me right now, it's free response. Like, I was not feeling scared, and then I graded that homework assignment that you guys turned into me yesterday, and I thought my hair was going to fall out. It's a good thing I was using the strong glue. All right, so here's what I want you to do. No, Juan, not really. Okay, question number 23 on the free response. Hits on two really good, really important skills here. I'm going to give you 3 minutes, completely on your own, no help from anybody, on part A. And I'm going to, when we talk about this, I'm going to tell you exactly how I would score this if it was the free response part tomorrow. I want you to get all 3 points. You guys already have this. It's the assignment from yesterday. It's on the back? So just since it's been a while, I'm going to show a function is continuous at a point. What are the three things? What are the three things? Melissa, what's the very first thing you're doing?
F of C has
F of C, in this case f of 2 is, it exists, right? Can I plug 2 into the function and get something that makes sense out of it? That's the first step. Second step? Second step, one.
The limits are equal to.
The limit from the left and the limit from the right are equal to each other. Now, sometimes you have to consider the limit from the left and the limit from the right, right? You have to consider them separately, and sometimes we consider them together. On this one, do I consider them separately? Like I have to work with both functions, or can I just get away with working with one? Salma.
separately
Separately, why separately? You're 100% right. Tell me why.
because the bottom one is equal to or greater than 2, so
Yeah.
that's coming from the right, and then the other one is coming from the left.
Okay, everybody hear that? Right, the bottom one, I'm going to use it if we talk about the limit coming from the right-hand side. I'm going to use the top one, limits coming from the left-hand side. Make sure your notation is clear to me, Juan, that it's lefts and rights. Function is defined, limit exists, last piece. What's the last piece? We know function is defined, that limit exists, there's a third piece. You have to have the third piece. Brianna, what's the third piece?
It's to find that the function is
Not increasing or decreasing, that's not the thing. We know the function is defined. We know that the limits exist. Janaea, what's the last piece?
last piece is that they're equal to, it's the
Right, whatever the value of the function is, has to be the same as your limit answer. So I'm looking for all of those. I'm going to shut up and get out of your way. My lucky victim. Okie dokie.
And then equal to what?
All right, can I get some brave soul that I can put your paper up there? Melissa was like, it's either hers or she just turned somebody into a victim. I'm not sure which one happened, but it was funny anyway. One was like, no! All right, so this is Melissa's work, and Melissa volunteered versus the victim. So let's take a look at this. f of 2 equals 3x minus 5 equals 1. Limit as x approaches 2 from the left. Limit as x approaches 2 from the right. We got some stuff. I will tell you right now, a is equal to -1/2 is 100% correct. This is a 3-point problem. Melissa is not going to earn all 3 points though. Okay, Melissa, do you see any places where we can make this better? Anybody else see places you can make this better? Let's way.
Limit of f of x? I mean,
The limit,
yeah, f of x.
like at the very beginning,
Like, limit, then f of x, x approaches 2.
limit as x approaches 2 of f of x that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. There are a couple of places that it really is, there's confusing notation happening. Melissa, do you see it?
On the third step, the last one.
I see a problem on the first step. You're linking things together that are not true. F of 2, what is f of 2? It's 1, but how do you get 1? You actually have to show that you're replacing the x with 2. Otherwise, you're saying f of 2 equals 3x minus 5. And that's not true. So that could cost you. Another place over here, limit as x approaches 2 from the left. Is that the right function? That is the right function, so that's good. Once you get to the plug-in step, which is happening here, don't write that limit anymore. You've already found the limit by doing the plug-in. You found the limit over here when you did the plug-in, so there's no need to write the limit anymore. So f of 2 equals limit as x approaches 2. I'd like to see f of x. 1 equals 4a plus 3a equals -1/2. That's good. Because you considered the limit on the left and the limit on the right, I'd probably go with 2 out of 3. But to get 3 out of 3, it has to be perfect notation. Perfect
Wait,
notation.
so we would get points deducted if we put limit even though we...
If you're writing limit where you're not supposed to, or you're forgetting to write limit where you are supposed to,
Oh yeah,
those are things that move you away from getting that perfect score.
even for that.
If you are writing limit where you're not supposed to, or forgetting to write it where you should be, you're losing points. This is why we've been talking about it for 3.5 weeks. I want to move on past this question. Okay, part B. Part B is a doozy. I'm going to give you a minute to get started on it, and then we're going to see where we go. Melissa, I owe you a beast point. Thank you for being a good volunteer.
Are we supposed to just explain if that's true or false?
Part B?
Oh, I think so. B.
B. B on 23. Problem's worth 4 points. And we're using the same value of A, that -1/2 that you found in part A. Excellent. And the first point on the board. Which one? Wrong function. Yep. Alright, so the good news is just about everybody seems convinced I'm asking you to find the slope of the tangent line at x equals -4. Okay. Where you're going to get the first point is writing that limit as x approaches -4 of f of x minus f of -4 over x minus negative 4. That earns you the first point. How many guys would honestly have earned the first point? Okay, so we're in a good place. Now, a lot of mistakes that I'm seeing now are like, but which function am I using? If I want the slope of the tangent line at x equals negative 4, first function or second function?
Oh wait,
First one, yeah.
for x minus 4, and can you put x plus 4?
Of course, you can write x plus 4, and that's all good. So now I want the limit as x approaches negative 4. It's what, negative half x squared plus 3 minus f of negative 4. I cannot encourage you guys enough to be using parentheses here. We're still messing up with the parentheses. F of negative 4, if you plug that in, is that negative 5?
5. 5.
Hold on. We've got negative a half times negative 4, the whole thing squared plus 3. That's 16. Negative 8 plus 3. It is negative 5. Okay. Divided by x plus 4. Just real quick. We've got limit as x approaches negative 4, negative a half x squared plus 8 over x plus 4. Two options here for evaluating this limit. Two options. Anybody see one of them? What do you think, Cassandra?
Do you factor out
Okay, factoring out the top is definitely possible. I think that negative a half makes it a little bit trickier, right? Because probably we don't like factoring out fractions, but that would make the problem better. The other thing that you could do, how about multiplying both the top and the bottom by 2? Is that legal?
Yes.
Yes. And what you wind up getting then is that it's the limit as x approaches negative 4 of negative x squared plus 16 over 2x plus 8. And I bet once we get here, everybody's good. Everybody's going to get to the final answer. All is going to be well. You're going to come out telling me that the final answer is positive 4, and that's not the final answer. Somebody tell me why, and then yeah, Janaea, why is it not the final answer? Right, this is just your slope. So you're going to tell me L of x equals, I think your slope is 4, x minus negative 4 minus 5. As soon as you guys get out of here, I'm going to email you the solutions to the journal entry, the multiple choice solutions, and it'll have these worked out as well. I cannot emphasize enough the journal entries and the notation.